Welcome to NYNJPA Weather, your weather source for the Northern Mid-Atlantic. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. We're going to start with the water vapor once again, and as you can see, we have a powerful upper level low setting up over the southeast and moving towards the southern Mid-Atlantic. This upper level low will slowly move towards the northern Mid-Atlantic over the next 24 hours, and in the meantime, plenty of deep tropical moisture from the tropical Atlantic, specifically around the Bahamas, will continue to move into the northern Mid-Atlantic. Now, thus far, the majority of the rain has been focused over the New York City metropolitan area, where rainfall amounts range anywhere from close to an inch to over 2 inches of rain, and I'm expecting that to continue on through tomorrow morning. As for the Philadelphia metropolitan area and parts of the New Jersey coast, thus far, the majority of the region has dodged the heaviest of the rainfall. There has been some bursts of heavy rain here and there, but this steady rain has remained either to the north or well to the south. That should change this afternoon as this upper level low approaches and the flow off the Atlantic continues to intensify. However, if you're outside of the rain, expect cloudy skies, foggy conditions, warm, humid conditions, but once you move into one of those rain bands, be careful because the rain can become heavy very quickly and can produce flash flooding without much notice. It could also reduce visibility to below 2 miles without much notice as well. So if you're in the Philadelphia metropolitan area and you're saying, what rainstorm? Just be careful because at any time these showers, they're tropical showers, will be able to produce very heavy rainfall and flash flooding without much notice. As for the New York City metropolitan area, looks like that forecast for up to 5 inches of rain might just verify here, with over 2 inches of rain already fallen over much of the northern Mid-Atlantic and more rain on the way. Another 2 inches of rain is not out of the question. So use some caution and be careful if you're living around rivers and streams where flooding is prone. Also, if you're driving through roads and those roads are submerged with water, do not go through them. Use extreme caution because the water may be deeper than what you think. So when is this upper level low going to leave? Glad you asked. We're looking at the GFS model guidance from the Penn State E-Wall, and we're looking at Friday evening. Now, what I'm expecting between tomorrow afternoon and Friday evening is that the upper level low will move over the northern Mid-Atlantic. That means that the steady rainfall that can develop in these rain bands will most likely move towards New England. However, we're still going to be under the threat for scattered showers and thunderstorms as the heart of the cold air in the upper level atmosphere moves over the northern Mid-Atlantic. So while we probably won't see much in the way of steady rain, showers and thunderstorms that do develop will be very dynamic with the potential for heavy rainfall, some small hail, frequent lightning, and yes, they could reach severe levels in terms of wind gusts over 50 miles per hour. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that as that upper level low moves through. Otherwise, if you're not under the influence of showers and thunderstorms, clouds are going to start to break up because the winds are going to shift from the southeast to the southwest and west, which is a much drier wind, obviously, since it's not coming off the Atlantic. So clouds will start to break up, and we'll see more sunshine as this upper level low slowly moves over and then exits into the Atlantic. So for the end of the week, again, active but not as wet. And then this weekend, this weekend's going to be excellent. By this weekend, an upper level ridge will start to build into the northern Mid-Atlantic and much of the East Coast for that matter. As a result, a surface high pressure system centered over the eastern Great Lakes by Saturday morning will linger over the northern Mid-Atlantic and produce clearing skies. Now, I can't rule out a few isolated showers and thunderstorms, especially in this pattern with a few rogue disturbances. But for the most part, most locations will remain dry this weekend and warm with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. But we haven't seen anything yet because much warmer conditions are on the way. By early next week, our high pressure system that was over the eastern Great Lakes has moved off the east coast, and that means we're going to be under a southwesterly flow. Now, that by itself would produce very warm and humid weather conditions because we're having an air mass coming off of the Gulf of Mexico through the southeast and towards the northern Mid-Atlantic. But we also have the influence of a cold front well to the west that's going to start to stall. Notice over the west that we pretty much have a really deep trough over much of the west coast and off towards the Rockies and even the Central Plains, which as a result leads to a ridge building over the east coast and much of the southeast. So we have plenty of warm air and a southwesterly flow established, but notice these red blotches that are developing over parts of Pennsylvania. Those are mid-level disturbances that we're going to keep an eye on this weekend. So what this pattern is setting up is that temperatures will be very warm with highs in the mid-70s to mid-80s, mid-70s towards Long Island, mid-80s as you move towards the Philadelphia metropolitan area and the Delaware River Valley. We're also going to look at an increase in humidity, so say hello to those 60-degree dew points and temperatures feeling more summer-like than spring-like. And of course, because we have the humidity, we have an unstable air mass, and now we have these mid-level disturbances, there's going to be a threat for a few scattered showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, and those thunderstorms could be severe, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. This cold front does not reach the East Coast until at least Thursday, and by then it starts to collapse. So for Monday and Tuesday, and looks like also for Wednesday, look for very warm conditions, temperatures well above normal in the upper 70s to mid 80s for most locations, and a threat of showers and thunderstorms each afternoon as disturbances pass through. So I said last week that once we get through this rainy pattern, we're going to move into a warm and humid pattern, and it looks like that's going to play out. So we're going to keep an eye on the threat for severe weather, but overall temperatures are going to be rather warm. Thank you for trusting in NYNJPA weather as your weather source for the Northern Mid-Atlantic. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Have an excellent day.